We back.
The boys are back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back.
Welcome back, America.
Jesus. Welcome back. This is the No Free Game Podcast. I am your humble, gracious host, King Solomon. And to my left, the man who founded America.
Ooh.
The actual current owner of Bank of America. And also the man who wrote the national anthem, the Big Juicer, ladies and gentlemen. Look at some claps.
Thank you, King. Thank you. I like that one. That was very...
I wanted to make it a patriotic one.
Patriotic.
I wanted to make it a patriotic one.
As we should.
Before we continue, if you are watching us on YouTube, make sure, first off, thank you very much. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell. If you're listening to us wherever you listen to your podcast, again, thank you. Make sure you please give us 5 stars, give us some likes. If you're seeing the clips, whatever, we just appreciate all the support. It's been amazing. So again, thank you guys.
Excuse me.
Man.
Be a fan.
Man, here we are. Another day, another week. My friend,
Yes.
How are you? You look like you've been drinking water. Your skin looks clear.
Thank you.
You know, you every time I see you, you look better and better. So I'm happy to see you.
I'm using more tape each week. I'm keep using the tape.
So how are you feeling, my friend? Where's your mental at? Yeah, how's it going?
I'm anxious. I'm ready.
Ooh, anxious.
I'm ready because I feel like we stayed down, King. Let's actually give a moment to ourselves.
Thank you.
We stayed down.
Let's get some claps. Get some claps. We've been on a good. Damn, I'm like fucking up today. We've been on a pretty good track.
A great track.
Again, shout out to all the fans. Shout out to everybody listening. You guys have been amazing. The feedback's been amazing. Just the people wanting to take part in our conversations have been amazing. So
really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. But yeah, anxious. Anxious is an interesting word.
Because I see the traction. I see the trajectory where we're going. We're staying at it, staying on course. We're 10 down still, and this is why. We started in spring. We're back to spring. Yeah. When we first kind of gave this a shot was like spring of last year, and May. Yeah, and then I think we had a good little stretch, and then we kind of fell off a little bit. And I think this is probably our longest and most consistent stretch since we began. We started.
And it's fun to be transparent with people. You know, I think anytime you're starting anything new, it's very easy to just kind of gloss over the beginning and the growing pains and everything that kind of goes into it.
Yeah.
And pretend like it never happened. But it's interesting to almost go through it live and as people are watching, I'm sure from the first video we did. Man. So now, you know, it's a bunch of changes. But yeah, no, I agree. It's crazy to see. And I, you know, you're actually now just jogging my memory that, we kind of started this almost a year ago.
And just to see that, and then where I'm at, because I want to know where you feel, I feel like we really didn't even have a winter. Like so many seasons, and we've been busy, regular life, business as well, the pod and other ventures, and then fucking boom, it's spring. Now I'm like, God damn.
You know, and
let's go.
Yeah, and we've kind of talked about it for a couple episodes, just about how time is just, you know, just flying nowadays, and it almost feels unreal. I feel you. It's almost like, you know, and for anyone who lives in New Jersey, you know that winters are traditionally pretty brutal.
Horrible.
Like it lasts a good amount of time. And I don't know if it's because of global warming. I don't know, just because we're older. I don't know. But I agree. I kind of felt like this winter wasn't too bad. Kind of just, it came and you get through the holiday season and then it's gone.
It's gone. I remember we were talking about how weird and useless September is.
Yes.
Then
the stepchild month.
Just fucking there. Now I guess we murdered it off. Then we fucking had a costume party. I was pootie tang. I had my shirt open. I didn't need a fucking snorkel this winter. And now we're back to spring. So I feel like, you know, time has been good to us.
Good. No, I agree. I'm in great spirits. I'm in a great mood. Shout out to the weather. You know, I've never really been a big believer in like seasonal depressions or things like that, but I may have been wrong on that. I think it's interesting to see just my energy level now that it's sunnier and you know, it's not dark early with like the daylight saving time shit. It's like, you know, now time is kind of moving, or at least the light is here longer, and it kind of giving me more energy, just more
in our favor. In our favor.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I never really truly appreciated it till maybe this year, to be quite honest with you. But yeah,
good.
no, I'm in good spirits. We're gonna start off today with a very, very, very interesting story that has basically, I want to say, tick over the headlines for the past week or so. Are you familiar with the two banks that failed in the past 2 weeks?
No.
Okay.
Which banks?
So Silicon Valley Bank, SVB, as the people like to call it.
Okay.
And I believe Federal National Bank, I believe it's the other bank. But basically, long story short, for those of you who are not aware or just haven't heard the story, Silicon Valley Bank was was the largest bank for venture capitalist investors. So
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley Bank,
Okay.
yes. So for people who don't know what those people do, so basically venture capitalists are people with a whole bunch of fucking money. And they're the ones who are giving like the next, or like the startup companies, they're the ones who are giving them the money early on.
Okay.
So like, for example, like when Apple was on the come up, there were some super rich dudes who put some money into Apple. And in return, you get
those
basic
big
equity.
loans, pretty much.
Yeah, basically a large ass loan that they expect to get paid back, plus some, you get some equity in the
Interest.
company and all that good shit. Yeah. So basically, this bank held most of those people's money, as well as a lot of businesses' money. For example, Roku. I know a lot of us know what the Roku is, right?
Yes.
The little thing. They had like $500 million in that bank. Just a lot of people had a lot of money in there. So basically, what happened? The bank sold. So let's actually take a step back. Do you know what the bank does with your money when you put it in there?
Yeah, they go fuck it off and fuck little kids in the islands with it. That's what they do with it. That's just me being transparent. Since we're talking, this is the episode of transparency.
Sure, you're not.
But more or less,
you're not wrong.
Because I think it was an act or something where like they don't gotta hold your money. It's like a fucking Ponzi or something, pretty much.
So, kind of, yes. I guess you could say that. So basically, when you put your money into a bank, okay, your money's not just sitting there. That's not how banks work.
Nope.
When you put your money into a bank, the bank will then take that money and invest it. Okay? Now, granted, that money that's being invested isn't going to you. It's going to the bank. Okay? So basically, let's say you put in $10,000. The bank takes that $10,000. They'll invest it for their own shit to make themselves money.
Yeah.
And then when you need the 10 grand, you let them know. Cool. They get you 10 grand back, and that's it. Right? That's how the process
Well, you would
technically
hope
works.
that it,
And that's,
we're not there yet.
And that's where we're coming.
Okay.
So basically, what happened with Silicon Valley Bank? They took people's money, invested it in assets that basically are affected by interest rates. Let's just make it very, very simple. Okay. So for those of you who don't really watch or aren't aware in financial shit, right now the Fed, right, part of our government, is basically. And I'm sure you've seen it with if you have a car note, if you're trying to get a house, if you're seeing rent, all this shit. Interest rates are through the roof. Okay?
Terrible.
So the assets that this bank bought are assets that are affected by interest rates, whether they're high or low.
Okay.
So long story short, they put up a lot of money into assets that basically will give them a very small return. And those assets technically what's called mature, or those assets basically are finished for a long time. That's the best way to put it. So like you don't get your money back from those assets for a long time. Okay. So it's one of those things where like, think of it like a 401k, right?
Yeah.
You put your money into 401k, you're not gonna see it for a minute. And at the end, when you are able to touch it, you're like, oh shit, I made all this money off of it. Cool. Same kind of idea. They buy assets. After a while, the asset matures. They get the money back plus interest during that time period. Cool. So basically, this bank invested into those assets, realized, oh shit, we don't have fucking cash on hand. We should probably sell some of these assets. It was then found out that they sold those assets for a fucking loss. And if you want the number, almost like, I think it was like a $21 billion loss. Some crazy number. Okay. Now you see how your head reacted? That's exactly what happened to the investors. They said, hold the fuck up. They did what?
Who's running?
Right?
Who's running this shit?
Right? So now picture this. Now I want to put yourself in the shoes of these people, right? You are a business, okay, and you have put millions of dollars of your business money into this bank.
To grow, right?
To grow, to pay payroll, whatever the case is, right? Usually payroll a lot of the times, but you need cash on hand for whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're, as the investor, like, well, hold on. These niggas don't got no cash. Are they going to have my money if I need it? I don't like that. So what happens? Well, let me get my money before they lose it. And what's called a run on the bank. Because you and all these other niggas realize the same thing.
But you usually realize it from the news. You watching CNN, Fox, whatever the fuck.
Exactly.
And you're like, hold up.
Exactly. So that's what happened.
It's too late by then.
That's what happened. So a bunch of people started pulling their money out. The bank said, oh shit, we don't got enough money to pay all you guys back. Long story short, the bank collapsed. So I wanted to tell the story, bring it up, get us all on the same page, because I want to ask you, how much do you actually know about your bank and where your money is?
I'll put it like this. I treat my bank like, how can I put it? I'm trying to think of a word. I don't want to ruffle feathers in the world. Like an affair.
Okay. Let's elaborate.
Or a side woman.
Okay,
right?
let's elaborate.
Jezebel, right?
Yep.
And what I mean by that is, I know what I'm getting into.
Okay.
And it's fun when you check in every now and again.
Okay.
But you might not always like what you check into.
That's fair.
And the long-term consequences never equal to the instant gratification.
Let's get some fucking class. What a beautiful.
I don't write this down, but I do, because like how you broke everything down
poetic.
And explained it.
That's poetic.
It's half retarded, so the side that's not understands it, but I can't look at it because you had to break it down when you're reading. It's like, oh, these niggas did. I'm like, oh, what's this? And then you broke it down like, oh, wow. Because I know your bank doesn't, your interest rates are terrible. They don't grow your money. That's not what it's for. It's really to keep this country a capitalist society, but more or less to keep the poor poor. So you did the conversation we had with the homie Jay, or
G. Shout out to G.
Shout out to G. That was, y'all put me on a lot of game, even after the pod. So, you know, I did my research for stuff I even knew, but even debit cards, like they promote these things because they're convenience. But like I said, instant gratification is never going to get you to the long run. So even with my banks, or for any of our banks, like, you know, I think as a bank holder, we should find the quickest way to get out of that. Like you told me with the debit cards, is now I understand that it's literally the worst form of dealing with finances, period.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I say this to anybody who just
literally
aren't aware of this. The debit card is probably the worst thing ever created, to be honest. And if we want to really talk about keeping poor people poor, that right there was the thing to help. Well, one of the things to help keep poor people poor. It was that, and then not teaching how credit cards work. Or let me not say that, because I don't like the idea that people don't know how credit cards work. People know how credit cards work. People don't know how to use. People don't know how to use credit cards. You know how it works. You don't actually know how it can help you or benefit you, and the ways that it does. And I think that's the disconnect there. But yeah, I think what this whole thing with the bank, and the reason why I wanted to bring it up is two things. I have a personal story. Okay. So I changed banks, right? I was somebody. My father put me into what's some shit's called? What's the community banks? I can't think of the name.
Oh, you're talking about credit union.
So my dad was a big credit union person. So growing up, for most of my life, I had my money in credit union.
Cheat code.
Right? And for somebody who doesn't know banking, or, you know, doesn't want to do the research, but wants to get out of this ridiculous cycle of using the big banks that keep fucking you, because we're going to talk about how the big banks keep fucking people.
God.
Credit unions are a great option. Just check it out. A lot of them are local, backed by the government. Great investment. But so yeah, so most of my life I did credit unions, and when I got older, I was like, all right, you know, I'm getting to a point where I kind of want to start my own thing with a bank. And so I just started doing my research, and people that know me, I'm a big nerd with these type of things. So I'm going down rabbit holes, learning about all these companies,
banks and policies,
and what like happens. And I've learned that these big banks are killing us, whether it's through overdraft fees, whether it's just through fees, period, that you have to pay monthly, or saying that you have to have certain money in the bank, or they're going to charge you this fee
by a day, and like
all these things that are going on, right? And then you mentioned interest rates, right? If you go to JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, any of these banks that are Chase, bro, those interest rates, to leave your money in there, you're better off. You're literally, honestly, better off taking a piss on your money than leaving your money just in the bank.
At least something will happen.
At least something will happen.
My nigga.
Because the interest rates that they offer you, you can leave that shit in for 50 years and make $5.
Bro, I had this account for, oh my God. Oh shit, son, forever, son.
So because of that, I ended up using a relatively newer bank. For those who know, Charles Schwab. That's the bank that I currently use.
Okay,
and
that's big money talk for you niggas.
And again,
with $1,000 shoes, my nigga walks to the bank in flip flops.
Yeah, so I chose them. You know, no fees, the things that they offer, blah blah blah. But through that process, I realized that myself and many other people know shit about banks.
Yes.
And what they actually do and how they can fuck you. Because that run on the bank, now granted, the government stepped in and decided to guarantee that if you deposited money into the bank, you'll get your money back. Mm-hmm. Cool, that's great. But just the concept alone should scare people a little bit. Right?
Yes.
And not scare you to not use banks. I don't think, like, I'm not being extremist here.
I don't even think that's extreme.
But because I still think banking is fine, right? I'm more saying that we should take the time to really understand where our money's being held at. That's all. And I'm not saying a deep dive into, well, how did Wells Fargo start and blah, blah, but like basic shit. Are they charging you monthly fees? Do I have to pay these monthly fees? Can I go somewhere where I don't have to pay monthly fees?
Exactly.
There's an overdraft fee? Oh, or
damn, you just 4 fees already.
Yo, and again, these are little things that you don't think of, or you just assume that that's across the board. No.
Or you think, do you think it could be like indoctrinated? It's like regularity, like
yes.
But that's also the thing too. It's commercialism, right? So the reason why I say banking, because at even a point it was ideal to think that your money is safe or whatever. Here's the thing, it's such a gamble. It's such a gamble. Because my thing is, like, now at this point, and I think we're both business minded. If the shit ain't making you money, then it's honestly a liability. That's how I look. It's no grace. If it ain't making you money,
hold on, son.
No free game. I will piss off Gilly a while, but we dropping gems today.
That is probably one of the most important things you may have ever said to me.
What? For real?
I and the reason I say that is such an important mindset to have. If it's not making you money, it's literally a liability. That's what it is.
It's literally a liability.
Buying a brand new car, guess what? The minute it's off the lot, you lose money on it.
Niggas be starting. Right? Like, nigga, them wheels hit the street, nigga.
If it's not making you some sort of money, as you said, it's a liability.
It's losing.
That's right.
You.
So
if it's stagnant, it's dying. And niggas, they there's no such thing as a luxury if the price drop once the tags off. Niggas don't understand that. Why you think niggas buy paintings? It ain't because the shit look good. Mona Lisa ain't had no ass. But that bitch worth 30 billion. You feel what I'm saying? What is niggas talking about?
No, yo, that is, man, I don't even know how to, like, that is one of the most important things.
King. Let's cheers to that. I made my nigga honestly, happy,
bro. That made my heart sing because
he's the brains, obviously. Thank you. Cheers to that.
No. See, and I appreciate it, but no, I'm not the brains. I'm not. You know what I am? I'm a man who's been fucked before. Pause.
We didn't like it.
Big pause. I just know how it feels to get screwed over because and not only do I know how it feels to get screwed over, I've seen others, right? And again, just to bring up the bank, right? With my current bank, their interest rate's almost like 3% or 2%, something like that. Do you know the last time JP Morgan was offering 2% in a savings account? I don't. No idea. I don't even know if they ever did. No fucking clue.
I had this shit for 10 years. You know what I got 3 cents last year.
You feel, and you even know.
I didn't even know. I was like, why my savings? It got and I'm like 37 cents. And then I went through my shit. I was like, These niggas got the all. They're like, congratulations, you've acquired.
Yo, and that's why I wanted to take the time for us to talk about this, especially for those in our community who, again, may not be into finance, may not know anything really about the financial stuff. Kind of more hearing from word of mouth from other friends and family. Especially, black people. That's usually, if we're uninformed, we usually go to other people, right? Your uncle, your aunt, whoever, and you trying to gather. But to be honest, uncle and auntie be getting fucked for years too. So that's why I do think it's important when these things happen, especially on such a wide scale. It's important just to really think about it and just be like, damn, like, where is my bread? Like, and for those who think, man. And for those who like, nah, I'm gonna keep that's why I keep cash. That's I put the cash under the mattress. That's even worse because guess what? In 3 years, that $100 is now worth $70, King. I'm sorry to break it to you. Yeah, everything, inflation shoots to everything. Shit, a nigga who had $100 3 years ago, that $100 damn near worth $50.
Okay? So, because it's good. I think with that. Because I think niggas rely on that. But like you said, they got to understand with inflation, that's dropping every minute, right?
Yeah.
So it's good if you just want to have some shit in the cut.
Yes.
And then, but I think the biggest thing is, number one, priority growth. Number two, priority allowance. Because those are the two things that are going to put you in a position to where not just your legacy succeeds. And anybody will tell you, giving yourself an allowance. I actually pay myself more in my savings account. And then what's really a great tool is having digital money. Now I know shit could get fucked when Skynet happened, but that's everybody. So goddamn it. If you ain't on the island somewhere in the Amazon, you're fucked. So I don't, but like each week, corny shit, I give myself $75 a week for lunch allowance and just Apple Pay.
Word.
And then when I get to, let's say, a cap, then I take that out, I put it in my savings, then I start over. Because just understanding that when you live in your means, no matter you making more, even if you get a raise of X amount of dollars, you stay in that means. Because that is where you understand that's all you need to live. Motherfuckers just, you make fucking 65,000
and you got a brand new Lambo. You're such a stupid ass. But no, let's get some class for that.
That was a great topic.
I love to hear how you felt about it. I think that's beautiful. I love when people just take the time, just little things, right? Again, I don't expect anybody, unless you're really into that type of world, to really be geniuses. But like, again, is your bank screwing you with fees?
Probably.
There's a bunch of them that won't. That's all. But to keep things moving along, so do you watch TV with your lady?
No.
No, you guys don't watch TV together at all.
And I give her a hard time. Well, we're around each other. We're in the same room.
Interesting. Okay, so
I hate what she watches. It's ruining the relationship.
So this is actually perfect. So, are there any TV shows that you now watch because of your partner?
Actually, yes. They both come on. BMF. Shout out to 50.
Oh,
50
shout
don't
out to 50.
miss.
Shout out to 50.
I don't watch this new ghost shit.
Get some claps. Shout out to BMF is a good show.
50 don't miss. BMF is. Excuse me.
If it's a gangster TV show, 50's great.
Oh man, he's changing the lane. Thank you, 50. And not the fresh. It's called Bel Air.
Oh, okay.
She put me on those.
Another good show.
Those are the only two that.
Okay, so are there any shows that you watch that your lady watches that's more of a female show?
Do I watch the female shit with her?
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to watch it by yourself, but like, let's say she's watching, I don't know, Real Housewives. Are you going to end up watching Real Housewives?
I can't stand that shit. That's when I was like, ooh, now I could read. I put my AirPods in and just on, because it's like, I don't even get the point no more.
So I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it.
Shit.
My what's the word I'm looking for? My secret show.
Guilty pleasure.
That's
guilty pleasure.
Thank you. My guilty pleasure is Bachelor. Bachelor and Bachelorette.
That still comes on?
Oh yeah. Bachelor and Bachelorette. That is 100%.
What?
I will watch it. So I have a couple of shows. Bachelor and Bachelorette. So those we watch. We watch when it's on every Monday or Tuesday. We'll watch the whole
Really?
Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise. We'll run through that bitch. Another one. Okay. Go ahead.
Quick, are these more of the the reality realm?
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
So like Too Hot to Handle. I've seen the first season on Netflix. There's a show where you don't get I forgot the name of it, but I'm sure when I describe it, a lot of you guys watching will know. There's a show where Love is Blind. There we go. Love is Blind.
I've been in the room when she watched that.
I've seen it.
I've been in the room, so I know I'm familiar with that name at least.
Actually, this is good. Now you got me down a rabbit hole. How are you able to get out of it? Like, does she not?
I swear to God, I'm not chauvinistic, but I say you must want a divorce early.
So it's a hard line for you. It's a hard line.
No, I do, because this is ruining our relationship. Because after the shit's off, she has this bravado. She fucking red drag. I'm like, what the fuck are you? She like, just tell me do some shit. I'm like, yo, so you watching that bullshit? But I realized that is her guilty pleasure and or therapy. But I don't have to be a part of it. Just because we could have couples therapy. I don't have to be in a room when you telling the therapist how you feel like your self-esteem's low because I don't like you in those pants anymore.
So it's interesting because I don't want to say I got sucked into it. So twofold.
You did, because that's how she tries to.
So twofold. It began with me being in the same room, right? So she's watching, I'm on my phone, whatever, and it's on. And I'll peek up. Every man, I mean...
exactly.
You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
You're in the room, now you peeking up.
Now some crazy
now you
shit.
see some plot points. Yeah, now you see some plot points. And now you're like,
yes.
What the fuck? Whatever, right? So it started there. And then she hit me with the, we don't have any date nights. I said, fuck.
It happened.
And then, so once she with the date night, I'm like, So in my mind, it was, all right. Let's pick a day so that the next day I don't get yelled at for being on my video game for 6 hours. So now we've gotten to this cycle of Bachelor, where when it's Bachelor time, we'll watch through the whole series. They give it a break. Then it got Bachelor in Paradise. We'll watch through the whole series. And so I have a day dedicated for a show with her.
For the shows.
Right? So, and you've done it longer than I have. Do you feel those moments are necessary? Or do you more see them as a way for you to please your partner?
That's a double-edged sword, right? So here's the thing. I'll start with the death end first. When you said to please your partner, what I'm realizing now, especially these years in and being with my partner, fiance now, if it's a job to please your partner, if you perceive it as that, then you gotta go, because that's the goal. It shouldn't be a job because you're not getting paid for it.
Okay.
That's the
Fair.
goal.
Yes.
So, and I realized that being young and I was fucking watching this shit. Fuck, we always watch this Lucian Lions and shit. Then I was like, all right, let me make an event of it. So then I realized, all right, it's a small troubleshoot. But there's some shit is like, all right, but it is a give and take. But I do think, like you did, that's perfect. Because at the least bit, you're not spending any money. You don't have to go to Chili's every fucking Tuesday and get the endless bowl of nachos.
Boy, because going out to eat these days is goddamn more expensive than rent.
You're comfortable.
Being with you.
You're comfortable, and it's at the least bit, it's entertaining.
And I 1,000% agree. I mean, for me in my situation, it was twofold, right? It was I did want to. I agree with her in the sense of I wanted to have a dedicated time for us to spend some time together. In the sense of me and her both.
That's important regardless, though.
Right, yeah. So, like, I mean, granted, we go out to eat. We do whatever.
Yeah.
We do whatever on the weekends. But especially during the weekdays, and I'm realizing this now, we both work in the same industry, so we're both very busy, different roles, but both very busy. So it's very easy for me to like mentally not even realize she's there till maybe Friday.
Yeah.
To be very, you know what I mean? Like I'm so, whether it's work, you know,
you're overly stimulated, both of you.
You know, what I want to do, the gym, like all these different things in life that you're thinking about. It's very easy to like, oh shit, I have a woman that, or a partner that I should probably give some attention to.
Just check in.
Right? And I prior to that, and even going into us kind of starting this routine, I was realizing, man, it's so easy for me to mentally, like I said, just to mentally skip Monday, Wednesday, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and to be like, oh, hey, babe, you want to go? You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, especially the weekends, like, you know, we can go out, there's no work, whatever, your mind's a little bit freer. And so it's very easy for me to just skip her existence. And obviously she's there, we're living together, whatever. But I'm talking about like actually
as an individual,
consciously realizing that we're in the same house. You know what I mean? Like for people who live with a partner, and you can tell me if you feel the same, it's very easy to be like, oh, it's my roommate. Right,
it becomes that, right?
It's
or
very
it could,
easy.
it could,
right? And I think it definitely takes a conscious effort to always never get into that I guess comfortability.
I call it dorm life.
Yeah, right.
That's what it is.
It's just like, oh, hey, we brushed our teeth. Oh, we got food today. Like, you know, it's so easy just to kind of go through the motions. And I found having these days where it's like, all right, fuck it, guys, don't bother me during this time. I'm not answering the phone. I'm not talking to y'all. This is our 2 hours to have something in common for us to talk about. And then, you know, now we have the rest of the week to do whatever.
I think, yeah, like you said, regardless of, even if the show's an example, but regardless, to have that, because one, when we get older, you don't want the relationship, more or less, like I said, if it's a job, then you got to leave, because you got to realize, I think, it's individuality.
Yep.
That's cool. But also, this not just a person that breathes in your face when you sleep.
Word. And you know what?
Because that's huge, especially now.
Now I'm down this rabbit hole with you. So,
ooh,
what was it? Okay, so I was at a work event, and one of my bosses jokingly knew about my engagement and all that good stuff. So jokingly, he was like, "Oh, you know, I wouldn't get married unless we're talking about kids, or I wouldn't get married unless I want to have kids." Granted, the man's married with kids, so I'm also not trying to hear that. So right, like, so I'm like, all right, whatever. And what that moment showed is a lot of older men, especially older men that are married, always push this idea of, oh, don't get married, don't get married, don't get married.
Ooh, this is where we going.
Right? And it's almost like these niggas are lying to us right to my face. Right? Because at the same time, I don't think any of these niggas would be able to last a day without their wives.
Crumble.
I think their lives would absolutely crumble. So my question to you is, why do you think
that's a good question.
Like, why do you think older men who are married always push this don't get married agenda? Because I think it's all cap. As you like to say, it's all Pat Bev. I think it's all Pat Bev. Because
Pat Bev.
I see it all the time, and I see it, and I hear it all the time. And
all the time.
And I also, on the flip side, will see these men not, you know, God forbid you ask them to do their laundry. God forbid you ask them to cook their own meal.
Shit, it's over.
Like all these things. So like,
irony is those are the same niggas that's giving you life advice.
So
that's the irony.
So before I let you go, do you think it is more of like the male
bravado?
The male bravado, the want to connect with other men, in the sense of like, this idea that fuck women, you're a player, like you gonna fuck all these hoes, you don't need, you know what I mean? Like, is it to be accepted, I guess, amongst other men? Like, what do you think it is? I guess it's better. Why do you think men do this?
I'm gonna be honest. This is the first time in history within this last post Barack. Barack opened up a lot of Campbell's soup that was in the cupboard. right? And he's just like,
oh, Barry.
Yeah, him and Ellen DeGeneres fuck some. Yeah, they're just porn. Just fucking made this weird stew. And what it is I just think we were living in a time when the internet, so his era, what I'm getting at, his era, like everything was on the table. That's when it was the first time we was openly talking about, like we talk about the trans and men's emotions and equal rights for women, or, you know, maybe all immigrants don't smuggle meth in their ass crack. Shit like, it was shit we haven't talked, and this was only, relatively 15 years ago, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that now, those niggas was living, it was different cultures and shit. Like, you know, every culture has different dynamic with how they even view marriage. Some cultures, a man, like the nigga, he ain't really the head of the household unless he got multiple wives. Some cultures, it's okay for the man to stay home, vice versa. And I think now at a time, like, because we're this country is based just, it's a melting pot, we're able to blend all these cultures and these ideals and be like, okay, that makes sense, but that's utterly fucking stupid. Like, some niggas still got a problem with they lady working.
Yeah, yeah. That's, I mean,
but what the fuck is she supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean,
you only make 80,000.
I always find those guys weird. I always find, like, the hyper masculine, oh, she should only be in the kitchen doing the. I find those guys mad weird.
Right? Like,
only because, like,
what?
Why? Like, why?
I could go on Yelp and look at 1,000 maids for $12 an hour.
And honestly, way cheaper than your wife or lady is.
Way cheaper, because now she's tired
attached,
and the shit's gonna get done because Marisol wants a tip. I'm sorry. When I fucking she was Venezuelan, that's what I saw. I literally going Yelp. So I fuck and King. That's what I'm saying. I think now we're just at a time where everything is just, you feel like it's open range.
Yeah,
it's just open range, because those niggas don't get married. I think the biggest thing is understand what you're getting married for.
Yep.
Who you're marrying. And do you think the marriage is gonna last?
Yeah, you have to go into. I mean, I think you have to go into any marriage with the belief it's gonna last. Whether it does or not, I mean, time will always tell. But I think if you're going in any type of marriage or long committed situation,
because some niggas be like, we'll see.
Yeah, with the thought of like, well, you know, it's like, all right, well, you're already baked in, you're out of here. So like, why are we, like, you already start thinking of and you know what? Only men understand how men speak.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like, women, that honestly is one of my biggest pet peeves about some women, especially on the internet nowadays, when women try to give advice to other women about men. Like, oh, when men do this. No, men speak a specific code that only another man can understand. It's a very subtle, specific. So when you ask a man, oh, are you ready for the marriage or whatever? Well, whatever happens.
Yeah.
Oh, you done? He clipped.
Yeah.
He
If it's your man, you like,
oh yeah, you know what I mean.
Then your man, you go back home, babe.
Like,
yo, get him the toaster.
You get him something, get a return label on, sis, because this shit ain't gonna last. Yeah, 100%.
That's so true.
It's just men dialect. It's how men communicate. Men, especially when it comes to men communicating with other men, you just don't gotta say everything. I know what you mean, brother. You're out of here. You're gone.
Okay, so now I'm gonna ask you a question to your question, King. So do you think our women value that time, or do they just want to know where we're at, keep tabs on us?
Both. Definitely both.
Unpack that.
So I definitely think our women want that quality time. They want to always, not be reminded, but always know that there's something in common that we can always have. And I just think they like that intimacy. Now, at the same time, I think what they like more than all that is to know that we fucking home, not outside wilding. So, look, I think...
And how many years has it been?
For us, 5.
5, okay, yeah.
Right? So, I think a lot of times for men and women and or just partners, right? there's always this underline, hey, I want to make sure this person still fucks with me and not doing no bullshit. Right? So I think men and women both do it. I think there are times where like we just gauge the room a little bit and we'll throw something out there to see a response. Like I think, for example, like with men, right? If let's say like a Michael B, your girl likes Michael B. Jordan, right? Yeah. And let's say you just seen Apollo, you see Creed 3, right? And now you driving back and you like, so if Michael B. Jordan was at the White Castle right now, what you about to do? Right? And, ha 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 ha. But you look at her with side eye, like say the wrong fucking thing, and I know you're a whore. like say the wrong thing. You know what I mean? I'm obviously being ridiculous.
No, but I get it. I get it.
I think men and women both do little things.
So but you saw Creed? You saw it? Yeah.
I have not seen Creed.
You gotta see it. But so I'm a fucking nut job. The minute we left the movie theater, nigga, we ain't get to the parking lot. I'm probably walking past the popcorn. Shadow boxing. Shit. You fucking. I'm with my fucking Tyson. Like Mike B.
Just in case.
Nah.
Just in case.
Not just cause you but nah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and that it's a wellness check.
Yeah, well, shout out to the wellness check. Let's get some claps going for the wellness check.
Wellness check. This is a great guess.
I get salute.
You niggas
I get it.
Gonna have to subscribe soon, like OnlyFans cocksuckers.
So we've gone to my favorite portion of our show. We started this last episode, and I think it's probably one of the greatest inventions we've came up with.
I love it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, who has to go? The game show where we name 3 people, things, or places, and we have to choose.
I'm sweaty.
Who has to go? So, for today's episode, we'll start with a relatively easy one, I think. Who has to go? A$AP Rocky, Tyler, the Creator, or 21 Savage? Who has to go?
Whoa. You go first. I have to go first? No, I can't go first.
Okay.
I gotta leave.
I'll go first. So as I thought of this
That's
one,
crazy. That's all in the same generation, right?
That was my kind of thought process.
Fuck.
And I said it was easy, but it wasn't. And the reason I say it wasn't is because each of these artists have I can pinpoint times where like it was that artist time in my mind, right? So like I can remember when I was running through A$AP shits. I remember when I was like, oh, it's Tyler time. I remember when it was like, oh, it's 21 time. Man, I gonna get heat for this, but I think Rocky can go. I think Rocky can go. I think I leave the A$AP mob, but Rocky might be able to exit.
Shit!
Leave the mob, but Rocky might be able to go.
Oh man.
And I'm sorry because long live A$AP. And man, it hurt.
You know what?
It hurt.
Oh,
but
man.
I can't give up. 21 was easily. I can't give up 21. 21 was probably one of my favorites. Tyler. It became down to Tyler and A$AP, and my answer is strictly between those two based on who I think makes better music, and I went with Tyler.
So this is obviously preferential. It's
who got to go?
21 has to stay.
He has
to stay.
I'm agree with that. I agree with that.
I'm gonna be honest. A big key to this is transcendence. And I know this sounds wild and biased, maybe ignorant. I feel like the two that transcended the most would be 21 and Rocky. Tyler, no. And
it sounds like
he has to go.
Damn, okay, let's get some claps. Damn, Tyler.
Yo,
Tyler.
All right. Can I say why?
Yeah, you can say
real quick.
You can say why.
And I love it. This sucks. It sucks. Because it's like, who has to go? Kennedy, Lincoln, or Obama? It's like, fuck. This is that, right? But I feel like what I meant transfer because 21, like we remember, like nigga was just in Future videos. He was doing the God niggas ain't know who, and then he just started rapping and just like what he made gangster like, not, I don't want to say gangster cool because that been done, but it was like, he made gangster pop. 50 wasn't a pop star.
Interesting.
He was an icon. Like, because still then we had like Def Jam, Vendetta, and the wrestling. Like, it was still a whole different, like, now they've merged so many generations of hip hop to where now, like, Bad Bunny and 21 will be on the same, and it won't be like a fucking reality show. Both you niggas are pop stars.
Yeah, no,
Future is a pop star.
Yeah.
They selling out arenas, coliseums. Like, not that Tyler can't or hasn't, whatever. And I think he even did a lot of this earlier with the Cartoon Network shit and all that other shit. But I just feel like he actually might be the most talented one in the group as far as just musically. But his talent, I think, is like his character is one. But like, I just think like he didn't like Rocky.
I get it. I get it.
But you said get rid of him and keep ASAP Mob.
My thing with Rocky is, and I love Rocky's music.
I know. I know.
I love the music.
We went to shows together.
But it's like, honestly, and maybe it's because I guess it's his influence, and like, I just feel like now I can find another Rocky, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think I couldn't find another. So ASAP, so Rocky himself is the originator, right? But now I feel like I can find another Rocky.
He's the original remix. That's why.
Yeah, I can't,
because he wasn't.
I don't think I could find another Tyler, and I don't think I can find another 21. And I love. And this is not a slight on anybody. When we do this game, it's not a slight on nobody. Fuck. Okay, next question.
Yeah, this what you did. You wrote this shit, sick nigga.
So, next question. Who has to go?
Oh, we're still doing the game. Fuck.
Lil Uzi Vert, Playboy Cardi,
this is easy,
or Lil Yachty? Who has to go?
Cardi.
Right? Okay.
Fuck?
Cool. I'm okay with this. Okay. Maybe. Okay. I thought this was gonna be harder because I know when we post this clip, we're gonna get yelled at.
Really? Niggas fuck with Cardi. No, he's bad.
The internet loves Playboy Cardi, and I don't get it. I have never gotten it. There's a couple records I do like. The baby voice, the not actually saying lyrics, all that extra shit. I'm super good without it all.
You know what the problem is, niggas like Cardi? I don't know what those niggas do. So who are you related to?
Yo,
no shade. Get your chicken. Fuck the baddest bitch on the planet. I don't care. Fuck you, fucking alien. What do you do though?
He just reminds me of like all those kids that like be at the Supreme shops, or like all those kids who always got the new sneaker drops. Like he just makes me feel like only nerds like him. Only nerds and like fucking. People hate their lives. I don't know. I don't get the fucking Playboy Cardi appeal. You know what? Maybe that should be my first one because I agree with you 100%. Playboy Cardi.
Have to have another one.
I have one more. Now this is the hardest one.
This is the hardest one. The first one was the hardest one.
No, this is the hardest one.
Fucking brain aneurysm.
So, who has to go? The Rock, The Undertaker, or Stone Cold Steve Austin? Who?
America, I'm going to leave early. I don't know if I'm coming back. He obviously worse than Kim Jong-un. This nigga's crazy.
Who has to go?
What?
The Rock, The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, shit.
Who has to go?
We have to have like next week, bro.
I'm about to put the mic down for this. I'm gonna sit. We're gonna sit here and watch you.
Oh shit, son. The Rock, The Undertaker. You gotta go first. I went first last one.
Steve, okay.
Damn,
okay.
Son. So no ultimate. We can't like do something.
Nope. No, you gotta pick one. So for those of you who do not know, I am a very big wrestling fan. Been a big wrestling fan since I was a child. And obviously these three gentlemen were the pinnacle of my childhood experience. And so all three of these guys mean a lot to my childhood. when I thought about it, and I want to give you my criteria for my answer. It is longevity. It is their impact on their sport. And that's really it. It's their longevity and their impact on the sport.
These still 3 GOATs, though. So like, that's all.
With that said, I'm sorry, Dwayne.
What?
I'm sorry, Dwayne.
Wait, realm. Your realm is strictly WWE, WWF. It's like it's strictly that though. It's not
strictly. That's just mine.
It's strictly wrestling. It's strictly wrestling.
It does not have to be yours.
Okay, I see why you said it.
It does not have to be yours. My answer is strictly based off what they've done for wrestling and who they are.
Shit.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson can go. Dwayne The Rock Johnson can go. So again, my friend, who has to go?
Oh, fuck. America. Stone Cold.
Oh! Oh! We just got hit buttons. Oh! What? The bald-headed maniac? What? Steve Austin? You know how many stunners I've given in my lifetime?
Fuck.
Okay, but no. Let me hear reasoning. Let me hear reasoning.
It's already live. Fuck. Going whack me going to my whip. Son of a bitch. I can't believe I said that shit. I'm hurt. Look. Man, this is weird even explaining this shit. Cause nigga, all right, cause you did say longevity, but my thing was like, once again, transcendence is very key. Niggas know y'all in the hall. They still fuck with Sean Kemp more. Transcendence. Niggas know them dunks, that's what I'm saying. So The Rock, yeah, I get it. Cause
wild example, wild comparison, very, but I get it.
But
I get it.
We name it GOATs. Like, we name it GOATs. And how many times you would have just came in? I don't even know. You probably did some shit. Vonnie pissed you off. You threw the shit off.
Nah, it was the eyebrow. I did
My
the
son
eyebrow.
do that. He do that. You know what he said? He's like, Daddy, what's your wrestling name? I was like, I don't know what the guy was. Cool. I'm Aiden Johnson. I was like, wait, what? He's like The Rock. I'm like, wait, what? I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
So, like I said, you know why? And it wasn't, but I do get the relevance. That's why I was asking the wrestling, but I get the relevance, like you said, like, longevity, but like,
yeah, I mean, for me, again,
it's 8 Fast and Furious.
Because if we were gonna talk about impact, and we just talk about impact, obviously Dwayne's gonna fucking win. Obviously, The Rock. But so when I made the choice, I was strictly thinking who means more to wrestling. Who means more to wrestling?
And I would still think I just say because we know Jordan the GOAT. But because LeBron, he on Old Spice, Chipotle, he doing the chalk up in his kid's high school. He's everywhere. So when you Google, like, why this old nigga on the court with the hoodie and the chalk?
That's what I'm saying.
They gonna be like, but that's The Rock though.
Yeah, Rock Bron.
So when you,
so
for
me,
you Google
MJ like Stone Cold. I think Stone Cold is the killer. But listen, if you say The Rock is better, if you say The Rock is the greatest of all time, I'm okay with it. To me, Taker is like, if we're gonna do an NBA comparison, Taker like Kareem.
Question. Yeah, he out the fucking question.
You can't remove Kareem from nothing.
Nope.
I don't care what you're talking about.
Nope.
Kareem is Kareem. You can't move the Undertaker. So then it becomes, all right, Jordan and Mike, right? It becomes Mike and Bron, aka Austin and The Rock. Listen, I'm not mad at either answer. I'm really not.
I'm not going to sleep, yo.
Let's get some class going for our wonderful game. Who has to go? I appreciate you playing this week, my friend. I appreciate it.
I don't like this shit. I pour hot grits on my grandmother before I play this shit again. This is evil.
Oh, my goodness. So, before we head out, we do have our question of the week from the fans. So, again, thank you, fans. I'm going to be doing some type of poll or even some type of box questionnaire to get more people involved. But definitely shout out to the fans who submitted this to me. So this is the Advice Hour with the King and the Jew. So this is actually an interesting question and just pretty wide open. What is our thoughts on gentrification? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it needed?
That shit better than gravity.
Would you mind? I didn't even know what to say. I didn't know how to respond to that shit. I didn't know.
It's only Tuesday.
I didn't know how to respond to it.
Shit.
I didn't know how to respond to it. But
Yeah.
would you like to dive deeper into that?
Nigga. The problem is niggas gotta understand, son. The game gonna get played or be set up with or without you. And I love everybody.
Yeah.
Love all humans. Love my niggas the most. I'm not even afraid. I love everybody though, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah,
my
yeah.
thing is, I ain't never heard of a luxury suite in the projects.
Never.
And I think
I
for
haven't.
any race, I don't care. Y'all don't get it twisted. It's white projects too.
Oh,
we only
100%.
14%.
It's called trailer parks.
Dude.
There's a lot of them.
A lot of them. That's what I'm saying. And I think people just in those situations, not race. I don't care what you look like, but I'm saying you might have a sense of seeing is believing. So you might have just a sense of getting comfortable and where like you think this is what it is. But obviously that's because the higher ups, like it's a whole game. It's like I said, it's a game. And I think like long story less long, when you saying we both take care of our own.
100%.
Please build that Whole Foods. I love Shake Shack. Those are smoothies, my good man.
So my answer is gentrification is a very complex thing. So I'm gonna try to make this as high level as possible and just make this easy with my answer. I am for improvement in any community. Right?
Ooh, good answer.
I am all for improvement. I think, and if anybody knows me, I'm a big person. I'm a big advocate for change, but change for the better, obviously. But I'm
Yes.
someone who likes to push. Don't be afraid of change just because change is happening. Right now, I definitely know there are situations where gentrification causes people who, literally get priced out of their houses or priced out of their apartments or things like that, right?
That's 85% of them.
That's a part of the process that I'm not a big fan of. I think
Really?
I think there could be both, right? I think, for example, you as a developer can build an apartment building right next door to me, but that shouldn't equate to me having to spend more money on the apartment or on my rent that I've been paying for the past 10 years. Right? Like, just because a community improves doesn't mean those who have been there from day one should then have to, like, basically get priced out of where they live. Now, do I think new people come into the community? Yeah, hey, brother, you want to get the new high-rise condo that costs $3,000? You got to pay for the $3,000. That it is what it is.
Yes.
Right? But twofold. I think, the community that already exists should be involved in some way, shape, or form. There should be some program, something in place that can help those who are already in that community, and whether it's catch up to the improvements or at least be able to maintain and survive with the improvements, right?
100%.
So I definitely think the community should be involved. Now, with that said, your community has to evolve. Your community has to improve. In order for your community to improve and evolve, new buildings have to be put up. Older buildings need to be renovated. Mm-hmm. All that thing costs money. We live in America, people. These things cost money.
100%.
Right? So, so you have to accept some with something, right?
This is that seesaw conversation. What's going to keep the balance going?
You have to have some sort of balance. In order for your community to improve, you need to have improvements. Those improvements cost money. Somebody got to pay for it. That's point blank. Now, that part of the scenario should definitely be discussed with the community and those trying to come and the developers. I mean, no, but look, I am not a believer just kicking people out of their houses.
I hate it.
Right? But at the same time, if your fucking apartment is rat infested with roaches, I kind of feel like you should want it to change as well.
Exactly.
Maybe I'm tripping for thinking that.
Hit that.
Like maybe it's just me.
Yo, hit it.
Maybe
we got like 3 more minutes.
We got much time as we want. Maybe it's just me, but in my eyes, you shouldn't want to live in a place where it's literally just rat infested, roaches fested,
I think
fucking murderers happen all the, like you shouldn't want to live there. You shouldn't want that to be your community.
Exactly. And I'm not, like I said, I don't give a fuck. I'm not for the fake news bullshit. Oh, niggas. First off, all you niggas is niggas. I don't care what your skin color is.
Yeah.
You're talking to the wrong one.
And to be honest, and I think it's crazy what white people do with their poor because they act like they don't exist. They act like white poor people don't exist to white people. It's nuts.
Right?
It's nuts.
It's like acting like priests wasn't fucking little kids. Like, I've never.
Like, yeah, you act like, yeah.
Why Timmy getting a hand job right now? No, he's not. And the nigga throw a cloak over him. It's that shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, we not fooled. We are American gems, nigga. So what we try to tell y'all is like, so my thing is like, when you get to the parent, because usually when you around 30, somewhere between 30, 32-ish, 33-ish, you're stuck in your ways if you're not really willing to excel or learn how to try to excel. You feel me? And for people who've grown in that situation, that's all they know. So you get 40, 45, I'm sorry, like, you've been sleeping with goddamn Ratatouille for 6 years now. You don't give a fuck. Right. I'm not your kid, though. So when you do talk about gentrification, it sucks when you got fines somewhere or whatever. And it might be some loopholes in it. I don't know. I'm fortunate enough not to have to come from that stand. Well, goddamn it, our city's getting gentrified.
Don't say that because where we from don't look the same no more.
Don't look the same. But goddamn it, we not there.
So that's why
because when we come back, we buy you, nigga. But real quick before we go, what I'm saying, King, is for the kids though. If they gotta uproot whatever, and you know shit's changing, and these other things get instituted that weren't there before them, that's for the betterment of who else is able to afford what's coming in.
Yeah.
At least give those kids an opportunity to be around those kids that are coming in whose parents can't afford it. Have those things instituted to where they can go to that school or that educational system or after school program, or they can get those jobs or be around those new resources.
Yeah. No, and I
think it has to be a medium.
That's all I was gonna say.
But god damn it, I don't want to see that building that caught 30 bodies last year. What the fuck?
No, I agree. I and that's my only issue with gentrification is there, at least from my understanding, from what I've seen, there aren't a lot of avenues for the people who live there currently or even their kids to be able for them to assimilate into the new neighborhood. Yeah, they just aren't able. Like, they're not giving them enough ways and programs to be able to basically evolve. And in those scenarios, that's why I see it being just being wrong.
Can I throw a question at you?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Quick question though. Why don't you think that whatever demographic is in these areas thinks enough to so obviously we know what gentrification is, like that word and its meaning, the definition behind it. Why don't whomever is part of that demo thinks enough about that demographic to
well, I can't answer that question, bro. You have to
you know what I'm saying, to gentrify, well, not gentrify, but I guess redevelop it with the same people while it's already there. Because the thing is too, like you said, they're gonna come in, they're gonna pay that $3,000 rent, but people don't talk about it. Like, it's motherfuckers who can't afford it, but they have in a 2-bedroom, it's 3-4 roommates. They don't tell you those stories. It's a lot of motherfuckers who are just, my man live in Millville or whatever, and he lives in Brooklyn. We got 2 other roommates. He's like, yo, it's been months I can only afford $3 slices. But white people, when it comes to under the rug, goddamn, they goosebumps.
Yeah, no.
You feel me? Like,
so, what was your question? You kind of went.
Why aren't people in the same demographic when they see an area or know, because you know when it's going to get gentrified, that they care enough to also redevelop it within the same demo?
Well, because you're asking people to care about other people. And that's where you're already wrong.
Unpack that. What do you mean?
I think the majority of people are selfish. I think the majority of people are selfish, but will do good deeds with the thought of there will be some return involved.
Oh, for themselves.
Whether it's through karma, whether it's through the person that they're doing a good deed for, whatever. I don't believe people just do everything pure of heart, right? I just have a hard time believing that. So I think for people in those communities, and on top of all of that, I think people hate change. I think no matter who you are, your race, color, creed, people hate change. So when you ask somebody to change their lifestyle, when you ask somebody to change their livelihood, ask somebody to change when they're living, no matter if it's you can tell somebody, hey, we're changing your crib from this beat down, one floor house to a multi-million-dollar mansion. I promise you there'll be some people like, nah.
Yeah.
I like my house. I like my house how it is. No one's going to touch it. This is how I want it. I guarantee it. And again, I think they're just people who naturally are just scared of change, and it is what it is with that. But yeah, I just think it's a more of a human thing rather than a race or color creed type thing. I think All right, man, let's get some claps going. So before we go, if you know us, you know that we love a good list. So before we go, give me your top 5 cartoons of all time. Excuse me, of all time.
All time.
All time. Your
all
top
time.
5 cartoons all time. Go.
No order?
No order.
First one that comes to mind is Hey Arnold.
Oh, wow, that's a really good one. Okay.
Yeah, that's the first one that comes to mind. Rugrats for sure.
Yep.
You gotta do it. Oh, I'm a Nickelodeon, but I'm gonna have to switch it. Fuck, I have to. Doug. And then I gotta get off Nick. Yeah. Ooh, we need two more. Top five. So many that's coming. Well, you didn't say specifically kids, so you gotta throw fucking Family Guy.
Yes, sir.
With that
being
said, I gotta do it. Simpsons. I gotta do it.
Ooh, the Simpsons, a class. Look at some class going for that top 5.
Can I do an honorable mention?
Oh yeah, please.
Honorable mention. I wasn't even a crazy fan, but you know what? Fuck them. I was gonna say South Park, but fuck them. I was a fan of this Celebrity Deathmatch. That shit was Wills.
That's Celebrity Deathmatch.
That shit was Wills. Because I wasn't a fan, but I was a fan of Celebrity Deathmatch. That's my honorable mention.
That's a good one. That's a very good one.
Where you at, King?
Cool. Family Guy, number 1, easy. American Dad.
Really?
I love American Dad. That's the easy number 2.
That's a great show though.
Rick and Morty.
I didn't really watch too much of that.
I love Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty's a good 3. We gotta go old school, so I'm gonna give you Rugrats. Definitely gotta go Rugrats. And who lives in the pineapple under the fucking sea? My man SpongeBob SquarePants.
Give me honorable mention. Give me honorable mention. Give me honorable mention.
You got 2? All right.
Give me honorable mention.
I'll give you one more. Give me one more.
Your honorable. Your 6 man.
Honorable mention. Go ahead.
My honorable. Yeah. No. Your honorable mention.
Oh shit. Okay. Honorable mention. My honorable mention.
Yeah, man.
Is going to be
SpongeBob threw the mix in, so that's why I'm like, this shit gotta be good.
Fuck. My honorable mention is going to be Kids Next Door.
What?
On Cartoon Network. Let's get some
Oh,
fucking
you
clap.
fucking mixed it
Let's
up.
get some fucking clap. Let's get some fucking Can I get another honorable mention?
Oh, yeah, I like it. Go.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Let's get some love.
Fuck.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Yo, I'm done with the honorable mentions and shit, but just a question out there. America, I need to know. Was it gay for niggas to like the Powder Puff Girls?
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us. Let's get some claps going. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, again for joining us for another wonderful episode of No Free Game Podcast. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell. If you're listening to us wherever you listen to your podcast, again, thank you very much. Give us a like, give us a comment, 5 stars. We appreciate it. And we're out.
No free game.